All right, so here's my goal and how I'm going to aim to set it up. And forgive me if I fall flat on my face, but everyone says you got to start somewhere and you got to just jump in. Imperfections at all. I don't have a gimbal. I don't have a microphone, but I've got an arm that can hold this phone while I water my plants. So my goal is to sit down and to intentionally articulate the areas of my life that I am purposefully growing and that I am intentionally investing in. And then I'm going to do a short little check-in every day that I am focusing on these things. Now, they say that consistency is the number one. I don't know if they actually say this. I am saying that consistency, in my opinion, is the key to how I'm going to get there. I'm going to put one foot in front of the other and I'm going to move. So that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know if that is the number one way to be successful, but I will tell you this. When I was pregnant and making a major health change, I used that principle where I just ate the right thing every day. I walked 1 to 3 miles per day every day of my pregnancy, even in the snow. And I had incredible results. Like, I lost 15 pounds while pregnant. I had a healthy baby. I had an incredible delivery. And my recovery was like night and day different. So that is a tangible, evident, measurable success story. And my hope is to showcase throughout this journey that we all start somewhere, and a lot of times influencers have a way of kind of doing their channels when they've got it all right, but I do not have it all right, and I hope that makes me relatable, and I hope that it encourages you to bloom where you're planted, to start with the faithful small steps, to sit down and be intentional, but to also operate under the covering of grace and mercy, knowing that the whole point of all of this is a journey. And I believe that all of these goals that we put together and the ways that we steward our lives and the way that we enjoy our time and the way that we choose to work and give of ourselves and spend ourselves is ultimately, if you believe what I believe, an expression of the heart of God within me in the world. And I believe it is an expression of the attributes that God has put in me. And ultimately, if I'm faithful and if I do it for the right reasons, it is an act of love and it's an act of worship to Him. And God is practical. He is a God who is very practical whenever it comes to His expectations and the way that He designed us to live. I really believe that, going for a walk and honoring my body, eating healthy, making good choices, choosing to forgive, choosing to work through things, investing in friendships, like all of those things, playing with my kids, they can all be an act of worship, and they can all be an honoring of the Lord, because that's what He has set before me in my life right now, and it brings Him glory if I do it for the right reasons. And that's what it's about. I think that we all have different capacities, and for the last 2 years, I have been extremely intentional about saying no to pretty much everything. I just say no all the time, and I have been in a very restful, healing, reclusive, stabilizing season, and it was Oh no. I hope I didn't smash some eggs in my pocket. But I might have. I did. They're all broken and I feel the shells. That's why my pants are all wet now. See? I knew I would forget them in there. And here I am, all wet. So, this is what it's about. The imperfections and all. Putting eggs in your pocket. Forgetting about them. Having to go change your pants. Or not. I might not. And that's okay. So that's how I'm going to do this thing. And I want to encourage people. I want to inspire them to do the same thing. But I'm hopeful that it will also be entertaining and that it will be a fun journey that I can share with everyone. Oh dear, it's so gross. How am I ever going to clean it? Look at this. Egg. And then the question is, which eggs are salvageable? Still have to kind of rinse them off because they're covered in other eggs. Ah, it's so gross. So I'm going to sit down and make those categories for which I'm going to get my act together. Ooh, and it's like a pocket. Now the weird thing is, I thought I gathered more eggs than that. And this is what it's like. So, welcome to my kitchen. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna make up those categories, and then I'm gonna share what my goals are and share kind of what my process is in a future video, maybe one that I make tonight, so that you can see kind of like how I spell it out, how I prioritize it and schedule it so that it actually, I make traction. And it's taken me years to get to the point where like I'm willing to not be super harsh with myself. Like whenever I make a goal, I used to expect that if I do not do everything that I'm supposed to do every day, then I'm not going to be happy and I'm not going to be satisfied and yada yada. And I have learned that that is so unbelievably counterproductive to achieving the goal, because there are days where you're not going to get anything done. There are days where it is going to be more important to prioritize the needs of your family or your children or your job or your heart. And that is so real, man. Like, and if you don't, it's gonna hurt you. And I don't want to do that to myself. So this isn't about like that whole like hardcore get your goals, like don't fail. It's not a drill sergeant thing. It's just a, hey, I want to become a better person and I'm taking each day at a time and I am using my discernment. Because that's the thing. I think a lot of times people, they rely on white knuckling it instead of using the gift of discernment, which actually kind of requires more discipline if you think about it. And I do think that there is a time and a place to white knuckle it and to make commitments and to form good habits. But I also think it's important to balance it with self-control and with an awareness of what the needs are and the direction that you're going and the reasons why. So that's my goal, is to just kind of think about, why am I doing these things? What kind of results am I going to yield for myself in the process? And, you know, am I enjoying the process of getting there? Because if you are not enjoying what you are building, I don't think you're doing it right. So that's another goal, is to make sure that I am building a life that I want to live. And there are definitely disciplines that we don't enjoy. You know, it's not always fun to show up. It's not always fun to work. The rubber definitely meets the road at some point or another. However, I think more times than not, the goals that we set for ourselves should be at least moderately enjoyable, but preferably, 70% enjoyable. I don't even know how I would measure that. I'd have to create some sort of a grid or a scale or something, which I am not going to do. So what areas of your life are you wanting to build up? What areas of your life are you thriving within? I would love to hear. And what does your journey look like? Maybe we can begin a discussion through this vlog. And just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to make this dinner. I'm going to do my dishes. At some point, I'm going to change my pants. I literally just got out of the shower too, which is disappointing because I liked feeling clean. It was real nice for like the 20 minutes that I got to experience it. So I'm rambling at this point. I will sign back on when I have something else to say. Till then, bye.